You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
I'm Clint. Hey, thanks for making us your first listen today. Appreciate it. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network and Locked On Atlanta, which, by the way, I just realized I am just A-ing the hell out of tonight, Daniel.
Hold on, Clint. Is that an Alabama logo back there in the background? What?
Yeah, 100% an Alabama World
Let
Series.
Let me sound like somebody who literally has never been to the state of Georgia before and ask you, is that an Alabama logo? World Series champion, Alabama Crimson Tide.
World Series, that's exactly right. Hey, today's podcast, we are talking all things draft, which means a big congrats to a big payday for one dog. We're going to talk about maybe a drop-off for Georgia because of this. And then lastly, the biggest and stupidest decision we have ever seen in our entire lives, and I mean my entire life.
Worse than anything I did in college. We've made. 100%. That includes decisions we made at the Clemson game in North Carolina just this past year.
We're going to do that podcast, the behind-the-scenes look at the Clemson game, because, woo, y'all, there was something good with that. Hey, so let's get to it. Let's talk about a big congrats to a big-time payday. I thought I saw $44 million is going to be the life of the contract for number one overall pick, Trayvon, the freaking man Walker. Good on you, bro. What in the world? Daniel, this is top of the list. Fantastic for Georgia, fantastic for him, fantastic for the Jaguars, even though I hate your franchise because you had the king of integrity kicking players and you thought it was okay, but whatever.
They fired him, so at least there's that.
I heard he was backing
points in favor.
That's true. But it took them literally a player saying, I've been physically abused for them to finally do something about it out in the news. But that's not the point. The point is Trayvon Walker goes number one. Rumors about him and Hutchinson going 1-1-2, and it turns out that Trayvon gets it. They've already said, Daniel, this is big payday. Huge payday for him. Huge number one. Five total number ones overall for University of Georgia football in the history of draft. 5.
Is that 5? Okay.
5.
Okay.
He's just the latest, Daniel. He's not the last.
John Tweet Sports would have you know that not so for every college football. You know, there are NFL factories,
pipelines,
dominant college football program, just pipelines to the NFL. And then there's like when Texas Tech had a good quarterback under Mike Leach. You know what would they call that quarterback, Clint? What would they call him?
Maybe like a. Are you talking like the offense that he produced, or the one-hit wonder?
The quarterback. Would he be like a transcendent talent at quarterback, or would he be more referred to as like a system quarterback?
No, he would be transcendent for the only time that it happened to take place, Daniel. Not a system guy, transcendent.
Alabama, kind of a system college football team. Am I wrong? Prove me wrong.
I can't.
1948, the last time Alabama had a number one pick. I'll wait for you to tell me the last time they had a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Listen, Georgia just gets it done. We said Georgia was going to win the real national championship, and we would allow Alabama to win the offseason national championship. But Kirby Smart said, "Nah,
Kirby got greedy.
We'll take that one too. Thank you." And so for all of you Florida fans, Alabama fans, we are still the offseason national champions. That's who Georgia still is. We will wear it with pride. Thank you very much. That's who we are. The offseason national champions and your reigning college football national champions. Congrats to Trayvon. Big time accomplishment for him. And look, I don't know if Jacksonville is ever going to be any good, but Trayvon Walker just accomplished something that very, very, very few people in this world could ever dream of accomplishing.
By the way, the most chill, cold celebration ever. And the dude
He
he's an assassin. Daniel, he's going to kill somebody.
ready to work.
Oh my goodness, he's ready to go to town. Hey, we're going to come back after this, let you know about maybe a drop-off for Georgia because of all this. But first, we'll let you know about Built Bar. Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. How do we know? Because we've tried them. Every single one of them we have given a taste, and they are delicious. They are high in protein, low in sugar. They are delicious all the way through. Tastes like a candy bar, which I cannot stress enough. It is so freaking good. And right now, Locked On is getting you to go to Built Bar and get 15% off your entire order. That's right, 15% off one box, 2 boxes, 10 boxes, 100 boxes, whatever you need. By the way, I saw they have like a little Cheez-It, little snack cracker now in the lineup, Daniel. I'm just saying.
Oh, I've not seen this.
Go check it out. You should check it out too.
Built Bar, send your boy some of the little Built Bar Cheez-Its. Come on now.
You got my mailbox. You got my address. Come on now. We haven't tried those yet, but the protein bars we have, they are delicious all the way through. Meal replacement on the go, pre-workout, post-workout. BuiltBar.com, promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your entire order. That's BuiltBar.com promo code LOCKEDON15, 15% off your entire order.
All right, going to do a little NFL draft coverage. Thought we'd do it this way, Clint. Thought it'd be a fun way. Something we like to do. We like to do a little bring back the Trevi Awards a little bit for our longtime listeners to the show. And so these are going to be some
literally
knocked a man's head off. These are going to be some superlative awards for the draft. Okay. Most likely to succeed, best haircut, these types of things. And we're going to jump into the biggest abomination that you or I have ever witnessed in sports at any time. You called it the worst decision that you've ever seen made. And it was not made by one person, Clint. It was not made by one organization, Clint.
Nope.
It was made by 32 teams. And it was made over and over and over and over again. Somebody needs to tell the NFL to wake up because you're doing it wrong. You understand what I'm trying to say? Nakobe Dean was, listen closely, the best player on the best defense in the history of college football.
Let me edit something because clearly you said something wrong about that, Daniel. Clearly that sentence has errors in it. Turns out it doesn't have any errors. No errors in that whatsoever.
No. He falls and falls and falls because he's got some sort of a strained pectoral. Clint, what am I hearing? What is life right now?
It's literally, guys, I knew somebody that did this, and maybe this is you. And if this is you, I'm begging you, just stop with you're doing life wrong. I knew somebody that literally carried with them on dates, Daniel, just a card. And on the card would be a list of everything that they wanted in this particular person. And their conversation would go down that list. And as soon as one, I'm not talking 5, this list was 22 things long, Daniel.
Sounds like a real winner of a dude.
One thing was wrong. Do you know what happened to the date? Cut it short. Went home and said, no thanks. Do you know how, and hey, Daniel, just real shocking.
Yeah. Single and alone? Single and alone? Yeah. Really pining away in mom's basement there. Yep.
Look, Nakobe Dean plays football, and he does it at an exceptional level, and he does it at the highest level. All the people that got drafted ahead of him, okay? He played against all of them, and he dominated all of them on an equal playing field with the same rules and the same purpose and the same hope. He dominated them.
And he whipped all of the Georgia players in practice to the tune of starting ahead of them year after year.
This was my biggest thing. If you were telling me, if you're telling me, by the way, this medical issue, this pectoral, and they're saying, well, he played, you know how many games he played? He never missed a game. Oh, you're right. If he was injured,
that's a knock. That's a knock on him.
He was injured because you play football injured. Ask any football player. You're never 100% healthy. You always have something. And he played at the highest level with injuries happening. And you knew that he played at the highest level with injuries. What happens when what
happens when your elite medical staff gets a hold of him? Gets him all doctored up? What happens when you give him the whole year off next year?
He don't got to go to school no more.
Yeah. He just rehabbed 24/7.
People are dumber than dirt, and Nakobe Dean is going to turn all-pro. He is going to be one of the best linebackers in the entire league. He is going to lead that defense, and he's going to come in day one like an alpha dog and run people over because he's Nakobe Dean.
It's abject foolishness, Clint. I can't with it anymore. The NFL showed their true colors. They showed who they are. Overanalyzed to the point of nausea. We got another superlative, though, that we're going to get to. And this one a bit more of a positive, superlative that we're going to come at. But first, I'm going to let you know about who are we going to, Clint? Oh, it's BetOnline. It's our old friends at BetOnline. BetOnline is your online sportsbook expert. Listen, you know this, and I know this. Let me just tell you this, because I have to sneak these in to the ad reads now. Okay, here's a great thing to do. Go log on to BetOnline.
Okay.
Go to college basketball futures and sprinkle a little bit on the Georgia Bulldogs to make the NCAA tournament if you can find a line on that, because Mike White is doing some things. All right, we're not talking about basketball. NBA playoffs are in full swing. Golf season is underway. There's tons to bet on. BetOnline.net has all of them, all the lines that you want, over-unders, prop spreads, parlays, money lines, whatever you need, they've got it. And so Nashville's got a soccer team, Clint. You get on there and bet on some MLS, bet on a little MLS action. BetOnline.net has it all. You go there right now, you enter Locked On in the promo code section. They give you a bonus on your initial deposit. That's free money with which to bet. At BetOnline.net, your online sportsbook experts.
By the way, can I just say, coming out of the break, every single Alabama fan that I've been interacting with on Twitter, thank you. Just thank you. You make me realize how good I have life. At my worst of moments, you make me appreciative for being stuck with a random needle in a pool. And I say, at least I'm not a Bama fan. Like, you guys are warming my heart.
First of all, pause. Was that a true story? Is that something that actually happened?
No, that did not happen at all.
About to be looking for a co-host. So if anybody's out there, Weldon Brothers, reach out.
No, you can't get me out of here. Daniel, superlative.
Let me tell you what the Alabama fans are saying, Clint. This is going to be the superlative. It's not a specific player, but it's going to be a draft overall superlative. And it is the biggest narrative surrounding the University of Georgia coming out of this year's historic NFL draft. I mean, we're talking about historic numbers Georgia puts up in the draft. Biggest narrative coming out is this Georgia team is going to have a real drop-off next year, because just look at all the talent that they are losing, all those players. How in the world are they ever going to replace them? You know, they ain't Alabama. No. This is the story that's being said. They don't just have stockpiles of players. This is more like a Clemson situation where
a one-and-done type situation.
You get some good players, you have a good little run there, and then all those players leave, and guess what? Dabo Swinney's not any good at coaching football. Brent Venables left, and he was the football coach on the staff, and now things are bad. Clint, what do we make of this narrative? Can we please just some tough love, some straight talk to the people who are spouting off this absurd nonsense to us about Georgia having a massive regression going into next season?
I'm just going to, again, go logic if I can. If I can welcome you to use your brain for a moment.
That is not wise, but I'll allow it this once.
You can't have – my favorite is when two narratives that are in direct opposition with each other, Daniel.
Oh, yes. Yes, I love this. Yeah. Bit of a thunder and lightning situation.
I'm triggered.
Had to. I just had to stir the pot. Stir the pot.
You cannot say at one moment that we're losing talent and we can't replace it, and at the same moment say Kirby just recruits all these kids and all of them are transferring out because there's no room for them. We've got too big of a roster with too many stars. But
Florida fans can say one thing and Alabama fans can say the other thing.
That's true.
And then
when it's coming from two different fan bases. That's right. No, here's the deal. We're stockpiled. We have been stockpiled. We will be stockpiled. All these kids. By the way, I defy you. Besides Daniel and I, by the way, we're taking this one, and I'm gonna ride this horse until I have just beat it to death. Anybody besides Daniel and I talking about Devontae Wyatt being a first round draft pick prior to beginning of last year? I didn't hear any of y'all talking about it. We're on here saying, y'all, he's a freak. He's going to be first round. He's going to be possibly the most athletic D lineman that's going to come out next year. I mean, Jordan Davis broke the combine, but Devontae wasn't close behind him. We have those dudes just like Devontae. We have those dudes just like Christopher Smith is now rated as the number 1 safety in college football for next year's draft. Daniel?
Oh, I'm sorry, what? Christopher Smith? Who was talking about him? We're talking about Christopher Smith being a draft prospect just a minute ago.
Oh,
that's
no.
Weird.
Oh, that's weird. Keely Ringo, number 1 corner. Nolan Smith, number 3 outside linebacker. Bear Alexander, the best defensive player in all of college football. Jalen Carter. I mean, guys, it just keeps going and going and going. The drop-off is not real just because we have guys that develop. And just because Kirby plays a system that says the best player will play, and we happen to have a lot of them, and just because you don't see all of them does not mean they're not there. Again, Quay Walker, Channing Tindall. How about that? Y'all have them on your radar last year for being first round, third round, fourth round draft picks on starting all SEC, all American type? No, you didn't. Okay. We have those dudes on this year's team because they're always there because King Kirby is there. And that's where I want to end. Y'all, I have a new rule. I have a new rule. It's here and it's here to stay. If you slander King Kirby's name, I will block you. I will report you. I will make up fictitious things about you and your family to YouTube, to Twitter. I'll lie. I don't even care.
Yes.
Don't do it.
Slander. We'll do it. We will do it. Listen, people not talking about all this talent. What about on the offensive side of the ball? What had happened was we got John Fitzpatrick drafted. That's what we did.
Now, Daniel, he must have led.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
He must have led the SEC in receptions for a tight end, touchdown receptions for a tight end, right?
He led the SEC in most likely to be a lumberjack part-time in his in his spare time.
Just y'all understand, I know we got Big O and we got Eric Gilbert, but John he's a big dude.
That's a tall drink of water. Listen, there's offensive players that are just waiting in the wings. And I'm not saying a lot of these wideouts are going to get drafted, but all them tight ends going to get drafted. All them offensive linemen are going to get drafted.
Every last one.
Clint, and all them running backs are going to get drafted.
If you don't think right now McClendon is not a first-round draft choice by the time next year rolls around, I can't help you. He's a first-round draft choice at right tackle.
People are going to be talking about Tate Ratledge. People are going to be talking about Tate Ratledge whenever he comes out. Maybe
Cedric Van Pran.
Maybe 2 years, whatever. Yeah, there's so much talent on this team. To your point, there's NFL draft talent that the NFL draft scouts don't even know about yet.
No,
Clint.
Nope.
Because Kirby just been sitting on them. And let me ask you this, Clint. Did they transfer?
No.
Did they transfer out? No. Do you know who transferred out? The guy who was scared he was getting his reps stolen at wideout because he couldn't hang.
I was just going to say, it wasn't he was scared. He was getting his reps
stolen. He was getting his reps stolen by a guy named Lad McConkey. That was what was happening.
That's a salty pill.
I don't make the rules. I just tell you what they are. Those
and by
are
the way,
rules.
Georgia fan, right now, today, I know where Daniel and I stand. I can tell you right now. Would you rather have Burton or McConkey on this team? I know which one I'm choosing. Give me Ladd all day long because, again, he out here competing. He out here going to toe-to-toe with Nyland Green, with Keely Ringo, and he ain't scared. Okay?
Yeah.
Other guys
are
scared.
Is he going to get drafted in the NFL? I don't know if he is or not.
I think he might get invited to a camp, maybe.
But guess what? He's going to compete for more championships at Georgia before all is said and done. Ooh. That's what you need to know. All right. We got lots more to talk about. We're going to go best fit on their new team. We're going to go biggest sleeper of the draft. We're going to go most underrated player. We got tons of stuff. We'll be here all week talking about it. There's a chance that I'll have my voice back. There's a chance I'll sound worse than this on tomorrow's episode. Who knows? Tune in to find out. This is the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. He's Clint. I'm Daniel, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
See you.